There's a quiet revolution brewing in the world of snooker, and John Higgins is right at the center of it. The four-time world champion isn't just speaking out anymore, he's leading a rebellion, and he's bringing some of the sport's biggest names with him, including Ronnie O'Sullivan. The Professional Snooker Players Association, or PSPA, is officially here, and it's not just a symbolic move. Higgins has taken on the role of chairman, backed by a players' board stacked with household names: Judd Trump, Kieran Wilson, Mark Selby, Sean Murphy, Mark Allen, Ali Carter, Stuart Bingham, Stephen Maguire, Jack Lisowski, Barry Hawkins, Gary Wilson, Ryan Day, and Joe Perry. And if that wasn't enough, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ding Junhui, and Xiao Guodong have joined the movement as members. So why now? According to Higgins, frustration has been building for years. Speaking to BBC Sport, he said, "We feel as though we've not been listened to as we should have been in recent years. The game has not moved forward with the times compared to other top sports." It's a damning statement, and one that resonates with many players who feel sidelined when it comes to decisions about their careers. The PSPA is being described as an independent players' union, one that aims to give players a stronger voice in the governance and commercial aspects of the sport. Higgins put it simply, snooker deserves a strong, independent players' association that stands for fairness, transparency, and progress. The plan isn't to start a war with existing institutions. In fact, the PSPA says it wants to collaborate with the sport's governing bodies, the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association, WPBSA, the WPBSA Players Board, and World Snooker Tour, WST. The goal? To enhance the sport's future while safeguarding player welfare and commercial interests. This isn't the first time snooker players have pushed back. Just last year, there were rumblings of a potential breakaway tour. Some of the top stars were approached to play lucrative exhibition-style events in China and North America, offering guaranteed money that the WST couldn't match. That breakaway never happened, but what did change was the player's contract. Previously, WST professionals were barred from playing in outside events if a tour event was scheduled. The revised contract now allows more flexibility, but only during non-conflicting dates or if explicit permission is granted. Still, for many, the freedom isn't enough. World number 10. Mark Allen was one of the earliest voices pushing for an independent union. In an interview with the Irish Daily Mirror, he said, "I think there are exciting times ahead for a players' union. I'd love to be involved. I'm someone who's very passionate about the sport." He added, "Things are better than a few years ago when I was critical a lot, but there are still things that aren't right in my view. I don't think the WPBSA Players Board is running the way it should be. Now could be the time for us to look down the road of a players' union that's completely independent." Ronnie O'Sullivan's involvement is significant. Known for being brutally honest about the sport's failings, his endorsement adds immense credibility. Higgins confirmed, "I've had lots of discussions with Ronnie. He's really excited about it, so it's full steam ahead." The association hasn't just thrown together a board of players, it also includes legal backing. Sports lawyers Ben Rees and Mark Kenkry are named as directors, and Matthew Selt will also serve on the board. This legal muscle will be crucial as the PSPA aims to support players in sponsorship deals, broadcasting rights, and contractual negotiations. While the WPBSA Players Board does exist and was formed back in 2020, with names like Ken Doherty, Neil Robertson, Tien Pengfei, and Ben Wollaston on it, many top players feel it hasn't been effective in truly representing their interests. The PSPA has made it clear it's not about replacing existing bodies, it's about independence, about giving players the leverage they need when it comes to decisions that affect their livelihoods. Higgins himself has had a tough start to the season, crashing out of the Shanghai Masters after a 6-4 loss to Xiao Guodong, but his energy seems focused elsewhere, on reform, on rallying the troops, and on pushing for change that's long overdue. The timing of the PSPA's launch is no accident. It comes just as the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters kicks off, an event being touted as snooker's fourth major, with a massive £2.3 million prize pool. The sport is flush with cash. Last season alone, over £18.2 million was handed out in prize money, nearly £4 million more than the previous year. Judd Trump topped the earnings chart, taking home almost £1.7 million in winnings. But even with those figures, many players feel they're not getting their fair share of the commercial pie. That's where the PSPA comes in. Their mission is to make sure players have a say, not just in how the sport is played, but in how it's run. That includes making decisions on broadcasting deals, sponsorship arrangements, and overall governance. The association says it was formed after expert consultations with top sports law professionals. They're positioning themselves as a watchdog, an advocate, and a negotiating force that isn't beholden to any commercial interests. There's also the matter of the player's freelance status. Every professional snooker player is technically self-employed. That means organising their own taxes, insurance, travel, and training costs. The WST contract binds them, but it also limits them. Many have said the restrictions feel less like a safety net and more like a leash. With the PSPA, players finally have a body that can advocate for fairer contract terms. The WPBSA has defended its current model, stating that it has a mandate to represent players' welfare and that its players' board serves as a platform for concerns to be raised at the highest level. But the presence of so many top players defecting to the PSPA signals one thing clearly: they're not satisfied. The question now is how the existing powers respond. Will the WPBSA and WST genuinely collaborate with the PSPA, or will this become a turf war behind the scenes? For now, all eyes are on Higgins and his rebel squad. With Ronnie in the mix and more names likely to join, the PSPA could reshape professional snooker from the inside out. It might not be a breakaway tour yet, but it's definitely a breakaway mindset. And that, in a sport known for tradition and quiet halls, might be the loudest shot fired in years.